And we were going to discuss our employee or employment transgender policy. And I think we voted to amend our employment manual and our hiring and employment practices to not discriminate against transgendered people. And as a result of the discussion we had and our brief research, we've come up with some language to put in section 1.3, which is called Equal Employment Opportunity Policy. And I guess I might as well just read at least the relevant part. And basically it says it's the policy of the town to, to employ based on individual ability and job performance and without discrimination. And then the part that's been modified says, as on the basis of age, sex, race, color, marital status, familial status, physical or mental disability, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, pregnancy, childbirth, or related medical condition, genetic status, veteran status, or any other legally protected status. And although we've already voted to make the change, it was conceptual and not reduced to writing. Oh, I guess I should also, well, that same language appears in a second section on harassment, which basically says that we don't tolerate any harassment, and it's for the same reason, or for the same personal characteristics. And so I guess I would ask that we vote to adopt the language as it's been drafted for our employment manual. Is that what we're...
Do we invite the person that...
Yes. If she'd like to...
Yeah, prior to the vote, perhaps, or...
if you'd like to, comment, or...
It almost sounds like it's a done deal. So I put something together very quickly today.
Is it different than what I read?
Not at all. Not at all. It basically extolled the virtues and facts of adopting a policy such as what you've created, and potentially extending that outwards. What I'd like, if I may?
Yeah, go right ahead, whatever you'd like to say.
Okay. So on January 1st, 1998, New Hampshire's law banning sexual orientation discrimination in employment, public accommodation, and housing came into effect. And the law explicitly protects people perceived to be gay. The non-discrimination law defines sexual orientation as having or being perceived as having an orientation for heterosexuality, bisexuality, or homosexuality, but there were no similar protections for a person who is transgender within the state of New Hampshire. So a transgender person is not a lesbian or a gay person. Being gay or lesbian denotes a sexual orientation. Being transgender is about identification with a specific gender and in gender identity and self-expression. A transgender person could be heterosexual, they could be gay, they could be lesbian. Protections afforded to individuals who are gay or lesbian for sexual orientation do not adequately map to a person who is transgender. This opens up a plethora of possibilities for potential discrimination in the public sector. This would be include but not be limited to hotels and other accommodations, restaurants, and hospitals. The latter mention is of extreme potential importance, as there have historically been documented cases in this country in specific states where EMTs and hospitals have refused or delayed treatment to a person who was noted to have an anatomy that was different from their gender presentation. And in more than one case, this has led to a person's death. As a transgender woman, I stay under the radar by blending in as best as I can, yet I still worry that discrimination is a viable possibility and that it could lead to serious consequences in an extreme instance. I ask that the Council consider adoption of a non-discrimination policy and to consider expanding the initiative taken here this evening for town personnel to extend it outward to the community at large. This says a statement that Plymouth, New Hampshire respects the potential gifts of the talents we each bring as unique individuals, each of us. It is an iteration to state that Plymouth, New Hampshire values what we can do, what we can add, and what accomplishments we can help yield for the community. regardless of whether they're male, female, black, white, based upon religion, or their gender identity. A nay vote in passing a non-discrimination ordinance is an allowance by the town to state that it is perfectly acceptable to discriminate against a transgender person like myself simply on the basis of my external presentation. And in this country, a country that was defined as a place of opportunity for all, and a country that was settled by the Pilgrims in the hopes of founding new freedoms and religious freedoms, a country that was envisioned by the Constitution that all men were created equal, then a nay vote against a town non-discrimination ordinance that would equally protect all of its citizens is a vote against the very foundations by which the country was created. Portsmouth, Hanover, and Durham have successfully created and passed a non-discrimination ordinance, and I ask that the council give due consideration and respect to the possibility of creating not only a non-discrimination ordinance at the employee town level, but also as well at the greater town level itself. So not just the employee for municipal employees, but also for the town as well. I'm Christen Bustani. Thank you.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
When you speak about a town ordinance to, apply to the town generally,
Yes.
is that something that other places have done?
Yes, actually, Portsmouth has passed it. That was over a year ago. Durham just passed it last week. Hanover has it passed, and I believe as well Dover's in the works right now.
Do you have any of those?
Portsmouth, I think you do
forwarded
have.
the Portsmouth one.
I have
to us.
the Portsmouth one. I can certainly obtain the Durham one for you if you would like. That just went through. My friend Doug
What in
Marino just passed
substance?
that.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What do they say? I mean, they
Well,
say that.
That a person cannot be denied public accommodation simply upon their gender presentation. So that would include public places, businesses. I think right now it's set up for 6 or more employees. Could not businesses that have 6 or more employees cannot discriminate against hiring. That a customer cannot be denied service. This would apply to hospitals. This would apply to public areas such as libraries. And
Is there a state statute on this yet?
no. New Hampshire, there are quite a number of states right now that do have it passed. I believe the number was 17, and the District of Columbia. But New Hampshire, unfortunately, is the only one that doesn't. There are, to some degree, non-discrimination laws in place, to some degree, in 5 of the 6 New England states, but not in New Hampshire. We're the holdout on
And
that
aren't
one.
you pursuing legislative policy there?
I am. I've spoken in front of the Senate, and we're working at that level too. And we have backing too. We're working with many of the corporations that do business in New Hampshire that already have. My corporation that I work for is a large multinational corporation, and we have perfect policies in place for such things.
Yeah.
And we have a representative from Plymouth State University, but has the University System of New Hampshire pursued a policy as well?
Yes,
or?
yes,
Okay.
they have. Absolutely, yep. They've passed that. UNH has.
So is there going to be proposed legislation in the state this year?
It depends on economic climate and the economic and political climate, I should say, right now. Socio-politically, it's a little. We're trying to gauge how to manage that best, but we would like to. Yes. So for now, what we're doing is trying to set precedent and showing that individual towns are taking this initiative, and that may set precedent going forward at the state level. Is the hope.
Yeah, I thought we were done with you. Thought we
I
had
know.
this
You
taken
just
care
can't
of.
get rid of me.
You got another whole project for
Mhm.
us here.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah.
Well,
quite a
I
few
didn't look at the Portsmouth one, but I will. And we'll
Okay.
Well,
give
we
that some
could
thought.
consider studying it.
Yeah,
for
I
now.
think we should.
Yeah, I really would appreciate that.
And
Thank
I
you.
wasn't trying to be smart. I
Oh
was trying to be fun.
no! Absolutely, it's really tough to
Sometimes.
get. It's tough to get rid of me. Yeah, yeah. And I,
All right.
I enjoy the opportunity to be able to speak to. When
Well,
I can.
thank you for
So,
coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
So I think we're going to vote to adopt this, right?
Well, sure,
Yeah.
yep.
We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? Any comments from anybody or thoughts? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Our employment manual is amended, as I read. And